basically said, I'll start by saying I used to sit where you sat. I used to sleep in your bags. I used to be here. Probably I was about 12 or 13, I believe. Been here a couple times, but that was when I first came here. My goal is to break the cycle from these. It starts in the family. These kids have one parent or no parents, and they need love. So what they're really looking for in these gangs and in these drugs and in these sex and everything is love, and it's and they're looking at in the wrong places. And I was around 10 to 16, 17-year-olds because we like that. Everybody wants to help the little babies. Everybody wants to adopt a baby, but once you're an older child, you're just kind of there. Nobody, you're lucky if somebody takes you in, and that's where we need to channel a lot of our attention, I believe. So my goal is to take everything I've been through, and when I became a Christian, I said, Lord, take everything I've been through, all the bad, all the abuse, because I've been abused in every way possible, and it took me 30 years to be able to talk about it. I censor that here. I guess you said the cards stacked against me. I thought, I was adopted a couple times. I was in, 30-something institutions, and when I got here, I ran away. I went from here to boot camp and just made a bunch of dumb decisions, man. The reason I come here is because I have a passion for you guys, because I sat there in that seat, I never knew my father. He walked out, never got to meet him. He passed away last year, I think. I never got to ask him why, but, one day I will. My mom, she gave me up for adoption when I was little, so, I had no brothers or sisters, so I was just kind of in this world, like, lost, like, what is my purpose? So, it led to a lot of bad choices. Life is about choices. There's consequences and there's good ones. And you just got to make good ones. And I'm supposed to be here today, and I'm supposed to be ministering to these children. And it's worth every time I got hit, every time I got abused, every time I got emotionally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, everything abused. It's worth it to help these kids. Since I've gave my life to God, He has went from no family to a huge family. My in-laws just love me. They're all Christians, but God's put me into a great family of Christians, and it took me just recently to be able to talk about that. A lot of people never can talk about that, but I know I have to be able to talk about that because we're set free by the testimony of our mouth, and by doing that, God's letting me to reach people. But to go through that and not hold hate and resentment, I did it first, and but that happened, and then I was molested by another man. So I was molested several times, and beaten lots of times. But I come here because I used to be in these same buildings, pulling the window open, running away, being a hoodlum in the same place. And I came in Tennessee Children's Home. I was around 10 or 11 years old. I was with the Duggars. I still keep in touch with them to this day. They live in Springfield. I was over in that house over there, and I was here for a few months. That's when we went to public school. And a guy named Roger, who used to work here, took me into foster care. So he took me. He was here, and he worked at Cornerstone, and he took me into foster care. And then I was with him for a couple years, and then from there I went into the systems. So, and it just I went from one place to another, and basically I felt hopeless. I was anywhere they could put me, I didn't need to be at the boot camp. I was at a level 4 boot camp, where when you go there, they take your shoe strings for 21 days to make sure you're in the woods. You build your own bed, you cook your own food, you sleep in a tent with a kerosene heater. So it was very, very hardcore structured. I was going through that at 14 years old. So when my brain was developing as a child, it I'm lucky to come out the way I am. I'm lucky to be sitting here and not somewhere else or dead after escaping abuse time and time again. You know, I was kidnapped for a week and driven around in a van by a guy I don't know. A black man kidnapped me for about a week, maybe a week, a little more, and raped me, and got me high. I was high. I was out of my mind. I was like 14 years old, and raped me. I went to prison. Looking back, I figured out how it all happened. I met these people that I thought was family that said, "Oh, you know, we care about you," and I was looking for love the whole time, and I started selling drugs, and I didn't want to snitch on nobody, so I took the rap and I caught with drugs and I went to prison. So I did 40 months, and I got out, and it was in Florida, and I just got on a bus and came back and just got away from it. I knew I didn't want to do that no more, so I got away from it. And then I came back to Tennessee, and I got with the wrong people again, and was living in East Tennessee and had a bad relationship. We were using drugs and partying and doing stuff, and then I ended up getting in trouble and going to jail up there for a couple of years. And that's when I realized I had enough. And when I was in jail this last time, I actually was studying my Bible a lot. It wasn't one of those do it while you're there, stop when you get out. I really got into it. I got baptized in jail, and when I got out, I slipped up a couple times. Like he said, you're going to slip up. But the thing is, when you slip up, you learn from it. You try to learn from it. And the battle with the flesh is real, so you just got to walk in the Spirit. I pray to walk in the Spirit daily. I prayed before I came in here. I said, Lord, and I said, let me step to the side, and you reach these kids, because I can't do nothing on my own. I'm just a human being, and but I have an amazing testimony that I know can reach people and save at least one person. And when I come in here, I pray that I just reach one person at least, just one person. So, and I hope I do that, because it's worth everything I went through. It's worth everything. Every time that I was hit, every time I was abused, every time I was emotionally and psychologically scarred, it's worth that if I could do God's work and I can help somebody not go through that.